Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. This month's video is going to be all of the books that I'm planning to read on my summer holiday. So this is my summer TBR. I'm thinking that I can read maybe 10 books because that's kind of my average of the last few years in August while I've been away. And as of filming this, I have read 32 books out of my 55 reading goal. Apparently I'm 3 ahead of schedule, and I'm really hoping that by the end of this month I can kind of bump that lead up a bit and really have a kind of secure little amount just in case I have a reading slump, because I feel like I don't read as much in autumn. So I love that I read so much in August so that I'm not worrying about a reading goal, because for me, the joy is the reading, not meeting a goal. So that's my plan. What I tend to do is I only read Kindle books when I go on holiday. That way I just have to take my Kindle. I don't have to worry about my books getting damaged in my suitcase. I don't have to worry about taking all of my tabs and annotating supplies and running out. I don't have to do any of that. I just take my Kindle. That way I can kind of just binge a bunch of books that I've been saving. So I either get books in the Stuff Your Kindle Day, the 99p deals. I also am hoping that I'm going to get Kindle Unlimited because I have a 1 month free trial. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that because I know that at least a few of the books I want won't be in the Kindle 99p deals for August because they're only going to just be coming out. So these are all of the books that are on my summer TBR that I'm hoping I can get to, and I'm hoping I stick to, because last year I had at least 10 books on my TBR, I think, and I read 4. I read 10 books in total, but I didn't stick to the TBR at all. This year I have been writing down the books that I really want to read when they've been in the Kindle deals so that I don't forget and kind of just be like, oh, forgot that book existed. I've been writing down the ones that are like my priority. And then once I'm back from holiday, I will film and let you guys know exactly what books I read and if I stuck to this TBR. So these are all of the books that I want to read this summer. The first 2 books on my summer TBR, which I know for a fact I'm going to read, are Nightshade and Daybreak, because Daybreak comes out at the very end of July. I'm going away at the very beginning of August. I have a country concert to go to first, then I'm flying to France to meet my family the day after. So I think between Daybreak coming out and me travelling, I have about 3 days. I'm thinking that I can wait for Daybreak to come out, check that it's definitely on Kindle Unlimited, then I will read Nightshade, probably when I travel because I've already read it, so it's just a reread. I will read that and then jump straight into Daybreak. I am so excited for these books. I cannot wait. The like dark academia vibe of them I just love, and all of the tropes are just so good. The whole kind of mystery and the romance, and book 1 was left on a massive cliffhanger and I need to know what's happened, so I will be reading those books as soon as physically possible. I, for some reason, didn't even think about reading them on my Kindle. I have the Works Special Edition sprayed edge of Nightshade, which I assume they're going to do also for Daybreak. And I was like, oh, but by the time it comes out, I'm going to have been packing, then I'm going to be busy and I'm going to have gone. So I'm not going to be able to buy it. My brain did not think, girl, just get it on your Kindle because then I can read it. Because I was like, I'm going to have to wait till September. No, I'm not. I will be reading it on my Kindle. Nightshade was in the 99p deals last month, so I just bought that. That way I can just reread it on my Kindle really quickly. And those are the first 2 books that I am beyond excited for. Then last September, I read the entire Sparrow Falls series by Catherine Cowles, and I absolutely loved it. And her new series, Starlight Grove, follows one of the characters that was a feature throughout Sparrow Falls, and it's him and his brothers. So the first book is Across the Vanishing Sky, and then we have Into the Fading Twilight, which has literally just come out. I think when I'm filming this, it literally came out a week ago. So I'm very, very excited to read that. I've already gone and bought the sprayed edge copy of it, but because it's sprayed edges, I won't be reading the physical book. So I've got Across the Vanishing Sky on my Kindle, and I am waiting for Into the Fading Twilight to either come into the 99p deals in August, fingers crossed, or I will get it on Kindle Unlimited, same thing that I'm going to do for Daybreak. But I'm so excited to read those because some of the tropes just sound so good, and I just loved Sparrow Falls because it was so much more than just a romance. And I'm hoping that this series is going to be very similar, so I can't wait, and these 2 are very high up on my TBR. I want to try and be better in these videos about actually giving some of the tropes and the storylines, because I find that when I rewatch and edit my videos, I'm just like, oh, I want to read this book, it looks good. Oh, I want to read this book, it looks good. I'm not actually telling you anything about the book. So I have gone onto the author's Instagrams and we are going to list off some of the tropes. So for Across the Vanishing Sky, some of the tropes are single mum searching for her missing bestie, found family, grumpy only at her, romantic suspense, who hurt you, cannot wait for that one, neighbours to lovers, which I do love, I love a bit of false proximity, small town obviously, and morally grey hacker hero who is Dex from Sparrow Falls, which I can't wait for. And then Into the Fading Twilight sounds so good because it's roommates to lovers, grumpy sunshine, single dad, hurt and comfort, killer on the loose, touch her and die, which I haven't read in a while, so I'm very excited for that, forbidden romance, and a tortured hero. So I know a tiny bit about what this story is going to be about, and I know that it's going to follow on from Across the Vanishing Sky. So I'm not going to say anything about that because I know it's a spoiler, but I know vaguely kind of who the characters are. So I'm very excited for those, and they are also very high up on my TBR, so I better read them because otherwise I'm actually going to be annoyed with myself. Then the next full series on my TBR is the Boston Blue series by Molly Goins. I have been promising Grace, I will put her tag up here because she posts daily romance recommendations on TikTok. You need to follow her, she's amazing. She has been raving about the Boston Blue series for the longest time, and I put the series on my 2026 TBR. The fourth book has just come out, and I have been promising her I'm going to read it. She's told me that because she knows how much we both love Caught Up and Play Along, I'm going to adore this series. So it's very high up on my TBR. I am planning to read all of the books back to back because I've just found that this year I've been loving reading entire series back to back and really getting to kind of sink my teeth into the series and into the books and with those characters. So these books are so high up on my TBR. I'm saying that with most of the books on this TBR, but honestly, these four and the four I've already spoken about are my priority TBR. If I get to 8 books, it will be these 8. I cannot wait, and I will report back on this series because if I love this series, you're going to hear me talking about it all the time, just like I do with the DC Stars series. So be prepared for that because I feel like I'm absolutely going to love this series. And I also feel like it's the perfect series to read on holiday. Like a little sports romance, yes please. Then last year on holiday, one of my first reads was The Brave and the Reckless by Deland Dyer. And this time I'm going to be reading The Brave and the Fearless. It has just come out. It was in the 99p deals in July, and I'm so excited for it because I loved the first book so much. I loved the kind of country western theme park setting, so I know that I'm going to love this one. Some of the tropes for it are Black Cat Golden Retriever, single dad, age gap, yes please, fake engagement, and then the small town western theme park setting, which I loved last time. I'm very excited for this time, and I do think I'll get round to it if I've already read the previous 8 books because I just loved it so much last year and it was just such a fun read. And also the spice was spicing in the first book. It was so good, and I have been seeing all of Deland's posts about this one. I know who the characters are from the first book, and I can't wait to jump back into the world of Bravetown. Then the next book on my TBR is The Daisy Chain Flower Shop because I read the whole series in December, absolutely loved it. This book has just come out. I got the sprayed edges for it in the works, then it was in the 99p deal. So I knew that I wanted to read it because I want to continue the series. So this one is on my TBR. It's not as high up as the others, but I would like to read it so that I can talk to my friend about it because she just read the whole series last month and she has ranked them, and I want to compare my ranking with hers, which means I need to read this book so that I can tell her why I've rated it. So the tropes for this one are found family, fake dating, he falls first, and small town, which I can't wait to read because it sounds so fun, and I loved all the other books in the series. They're just so cozy and quick, easy reads, so I think I'm going to enjoy this one as well. Let's pretend that we don't notice the change in lighting. My light keeps dying. I don't have the patience to wait for it to charge. I'm also filming this in the middle of a heat wave. I am dripping sweat and I just want to turn my fan on, so we are going to get through this as quickly as possible. The next 2 books on my TBR are Give Me Butterflies and No Place Like You, which Grace also absolutely loves. And I've had these in the 99p deals. I think I had Give Me Butterflies a few months ago. Then No Place Like You, I think, was the last couple of months. So I'm very excited to read them. The tropes also sound so fun. And for the first book, slutty little glasses are involved, which I love. So the tropes for Give Me Butterflies are co-workers to lovers, single dad / guardian, grief and anxiety rep, which I feel like might make me cry, grumpy sunshine, he falls first, found family, and slow burn, which all sound great. And I have no idea what the premise of the book is. I just know that everyone loves it. So there's that one. And then the next book in the series is No Place Like You, which has apparently fake dating, childhood friends to rivals, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever read that before, so that'll be fun. Then it's got small town vibes, bickering as foreplay. I have a feeling I'm gonna like these books. And home renovations, which I absolutely love. I think I read The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score, which was like a home renovation one, and that was so fun. I just think it's such an interesting setting and like premise for a book. So I think I'm really going to like these books. And those are the kind of 12 priority reads on my summer TBR. And if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. In a moment, I am going to put all of the clips of what I actually read on holiday. I'm really excited to see what I read because last year I really didn't stick to my TBR at all. But this year I really feel like I will. Like some of these books I am so excited to read, and I have been physically holding myself back from reading so that I can read them on holiday. So I'm really excited. I do hope I get to a good bunch of them. I'm predicting 10, so it will be interesting to see if I actually read that many and which ones I read. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and consider subscribing if you're not already. And let's go through all of the books that I actually managed to read on holiday. I'm back from France and I can confirm that I read 11 books, 9 of them being from this TBR. I'd forgotten that In Stormy Weather had been released and it was in the August 99p Kindle deals, so I read that too. And then because I loved the Boston Blues series, I read Despite It All, which features characters that are mentioned quite a lot in the Boston Blues books. So these are the books I read on holiday, and I'll see you all in next month's video.